Alright guys, well I'm back today with another pawn shop find with a really cool 45 ACP handgun from American Pawn & Gun located in Monroe, North Carolina. I am always in this guy's shop about once a week, and Greg, the owner of the shop, is always giving me and everybody else in there really good deals on new and used firearms, and they're always helping out the channel in any way they can. They're a nice small personal shop, but that does have a wide variety as well as a lot of different options, whether it be for carry guns, AR-15s, collectible firearms, and all different types of accessories. So go check them out if you happen to be in Monroe, North Carolina, right off 74. Swing by and check them out. This particular one is actually the EAA Witness Sport 45 ACP. You can see all the information on there. I believe this is an older one because of the case and how it came in. I actually saw this one walk into the shop, and it took me a while to pull the trigger on it, but I decided to give it a try because I haven't tried a Witness EAA full metal gun in 45 ACP. I've tried an EAA gun that was chambered in 9mm and all polymer, and I absolutely loved it. And after holding this one at the shop for a while, I finally decided to go ahead and grab it because the price was right. Now this particular one came with 2 magazines, and it had a magazine extension. I'm pretty sure this was aftermarket. It was actually kind of powder coated in green, so I sandblasted it and clear coated it to kind of match the gun. I took it out to the range for a first shots, and man was I incredibly impressed. I believe, again, this one is a slightly older version which combines some of the EAA 45 features of the basic model as well as the match model. This has the adjustable sights, and they are all blacked out for those precise shots. It does have the extended safety, which is really nice and easy to actuate, and it's got an extended slide release. The trigger on this guy is really nice. You can see it's got a very smooth take-up and a very crisp break, followed up by a short, audible, and tactile reset with a very crisp break. Ergonomically, it feels really nice and it molds into your hands, as this is like a CZ copy. The slide itself actually rides into the frame, and I've never shot a 45 ACP that's done this before. Never shot a 45 in a CZ or EAA or any type of clone, and man was I incredibly impressed at the recoil management of the 45 ACP. Up until this point, my favorite 45 ACP handgun to shoot was the FNX 45 because I could absolutely mitigate and control that recoil with the way it handled. This one is actually a little bit better for me because it points more naturally. It has this nice groove in here, an enhanced beaver tail, and such a low bore axis. Man, it really drives the recoil back into your arm, which allows you to control it more rather than flipping the pistol. Now, don't get me wrong, this does have some muzzle flip, but you can absolutely control it, as you can see in the intro. This is also a tack driver. Since it points so naturally and the trigger is so good, it was super easy for me to hit my targets. It's also really easy to manipulate the controls, drop the mags because they do drop free, and just kind of access everything I need. It's got a slight bevel on the mag well, and the magazines themselves have a slight bevel to them, allowing this to be a great competition handgun. Now again, this is an older version, so I'm not quite sure what the new ones are running exactly, but I have seen them in between $500 and $800 depending on the model you select. Some come with rail systems, different sights, things like that. But if you have a chance to pick one up, I'm absolutely in love with it. I'm kind of working with lock grips to see if they have some grips we can put on here and kind of trick it out a little bit more, but I do like the way the wood grips look. This is a really heavy gun though, and the magazine capacity is rather limited compared to that FNX45 I talked about earlier. This is a 10 round, and with the extension, this is a 12 round. So this is more relegated, not to a carry gun, not to a truck gun, but more of a fun range toy for competition use, just range use, things like that. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I do like the fact that it has front cocking serrations, so you can do press checks, and also the serrations on the back allow you to manipulate the slide a little bit easier since it is so far recessed into the frame. About the only complaints that I have about this particular pistol is I would like to have one with a rail, but it's really not that big of a deal because, again, this is more of a competitive use handgun. And then some of the other complaints is the fact that if you are buying an EAA, Tangfolio, things like that, the clones, the grips aren't as always interchangeable as they are if you just bought the original CZ. So if you do find aftermarket grips, you may have to file them down. But the price was right. It's accurate. It's been 100% functional with brass ball ammo, and that's probably all I'll run through it. No need for hollow points again because this is not a defensive gun. I'm really liking this handgun, and I'm glad I decided to grab it from American Pawn & Gun. So again, guys, if you're ever in the area, go check those guys out. You won't be disappointed. And if you happen to see one of these at your local gun shop, or even a good deal online for one of the newer ones, I'd say give it a try. I don't think you're going to be disappointed because it works really well as long as you know what you're getting into. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.